All right, we're live. Now we just wait to see who will be nice enough to visit us.
Oh man, this was like they had these small pieces in um, some of the bigger bags, so no wonder I couldn't find them.
Well, they didn't. So, like with Lego, they put them. The pieces go,
Right,
in the right bags. They didn't have them in the right bag.
right. Like they had like this is what this like I had. Well, I'll show you. So they had this piece right here. That's what I was looking for.
That tiny. That looks like
Yeah,
a freaking piece from Monopoly.
right. And so it was in one of these gray bags, but it was so tiny and the pieces are so big they just kind of engulfed it. And then I was also looking for this piece, the exact same thing. And so like no wonder I couldn't find anything because they were just like they were engulfed in bigger pieces. And so it's just like
Oh, I remember those little pieces. Find those in Legos a lot too.
alrighty, back to building. I'm like, I want to at least get the base done tonight. So clear up my table a little, and then I'll have to do a little bit of prep work before I move on to. Uh, okay, it's okay. I already put those that piece back on, so I don't lose it. There we go. Here we go. All right, now we're back in business. Now we're back. So, you said you like Jean Luc, right? That was
Yeah,
your okay. Yeah,
but
I
yeah, I was introduced to it through the movies back in the '80s with Kirk.
okay.
But there was just something about Picard. I mean, Next Generation I think ran longer than the original TV show. A lot of storylines, good storylines.
Right, like uh, TNG lasted what I think 7 seasons. I think
Yeah, let me see how long the original.
the original did 3. I knew that because it's 56 or 60, 50, 50 or 60 something episodes.
66 to 69. Hey, Anthony. It's been a while, Anthony, since I've seen Malcolm X.
Yeah, same with
Yeah, I
Denzel.
ended up getting. I have all of the original Star Trek movies. I got um the newer ones, but I only have one in Steelbook. That's in it's the Beyond, and then I got the set that has all the Next Generation in it.
Um, I need to. I have 2 box sets of. I own them all. Um, I don't own any of the series, but I do own all of the Star Trek movies.
One of my great finds for the movies was the original 6 movies. They released a set, the box set on VHS. It
Hmm.
came in a special case in the tapes. You know how they line up, they form the Enterprise, except for Part 6.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I found them loose, no big case. That's what I need to
Oh,
complete it, and I doubt I'm going to find that in good condition.
right.
Original, maybe somebody can make one.
The, from I think there's somebody on. I read that there's a person on Etsy that makes customized box sets for things like that. So that may be a route that because I was like, oh, I would like to have like a really cool Kevin Smith one, just so I can have all of them in a cool box. But because they just don't, because all his movies are like released through all kinds of different places and everything. So I'm just like, uh,
Well, here's the thing, Rob, because Rob's talking about liking the original, but the new movies. I remember Into Darkness. I didn't read any spoilers, so I didn't know, spoiler, that was Khan.
oh okay,
So sitting in the theater, and all of a sudden it's like, I am Khan. I'm like goosebumps on my arms, like, oh shit, my favorite non-alien villain.
See, I liked Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. I really did.
Oh look at the shoes he had to fill.
Right. That no matter what, people were going to complain. No matter what.
But I think his Khan was a bit more of a badass
Right.
than the other one because he was a bit more. Well, Khan did get a little physical in the when he had that fight, but he was a little bit more physical, more badass in beyond in Darkness than he was in the TV shows and movies.
Right. Right. Because he mainly played the mind game in Wrath of Khan because he's like trying to outsmart Kirk, and then it kind of backfired on him.
All they do is his chest. Everyone thought that chest was fake. It's like no, that's his chest.
I liked Ricardo Montalban. It just that's just an iconic role. Like, so when Benedict took over, I'm like I was really into reading about everything about that movie. So I didn't really have spoilers, but just all the signs were leading towards Khan. But I kind of wish I had your experience with that.
But though that ship, that monster ship they built, oh, no crew, pretty much is voice command.
Oh,
but they kind of like when they dropped the trailers, they did something really cool with the trailers that caught my attention. You see the Enterprise coming out of the water in the trailer. You see her coming out of the clouds, all messed up. So it's like watching the trailer, being like, "Oh, I gotta see that. I really want to see this more." I didn't know what she doing in water. What happened to her? What is like what? Of the models I have the Defiant, which I need to put the decals on. The Grissom and the and the Bird of Prey, the Reliant, and the 50th anniversary Enterprise model. It was a special case and stuff that they did. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Well, this is it.
Hold on.
Let me make myself bigger so you can see it.
I have my laptop, so
this is what it looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like no glue, no glue, no. The symbols look like they say no glue and no paint, and then you realize, it's a little bit of paint, so it's gonna be a little bit of glue. And that's the original. That's not A. It's 18 inches long, which I think is longer than my battle cruiser. Then I see, they do a Bird of Prey, not Bird of Prey, the D7 battle cruiser.
Yeah,
there is a Lego type. It's not Mega Blocks of Lego, but there is one for Excelsior. No, but it's like I don't know who does it. But still, I want the captain's chair from the original Enterprise as my desk chair.
I would too.
But you'd have it set up so you'd have buttons on it, so you would hit them, and it would make all the sounds.
I would love that.
Supposedly, when they were getting rid of all the set and stuff, one of the cast members was driving around. He ended up behind a truck that had it sitting in the back.
Oh.
So somebody got a nice souvenir.
Yeah, they didn't keep sets back then. They just tore everything down and
I think there's a story about somebody stole the chair from the original chair from Next Generation.
Oh, really?
I think there was a story. They waited. They was there one day. They came back the next day and it was gone. It was one of those 3 chairs, and I want to say it was the captain's chair that someone jacked.
That's actually kind of funny.
But some of the best ones I've heard, the guy who they had this, he thought it was a replica of the Death Star. Something about using it for a garbage can. It wasn't. Oh, it wasn't a replica. It was the actual one.
Wouldn't that be something to come across that?
Oh, the junkyard that had one of the surviving sharks from the original Jaws.
Right. Like I knew that. What was it? That the Orca was beached somewhere at one time. I know it was gone now. But...
Well, yeah, there was 2 of them, and the one was beached where they filmed it, but people were taking parts from it.
Yeah.
And then one was at one of the Universal Studios, and Spielberg said he used to go there and he would sit on it and just would think. And then he went there one day and it was gone. They got rid of it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, they're like, yeah, you can't even tell what the name of that place, that Martha Vineyard or whatever, where they filmed the original. Like, people were going by and stealing parts of it.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, because I was like, because somebody had taken photos of that being there. I'm like, that's how I remember it being.
It's like the spaceship from Flight of the Navigator. The 2 models for it, props, was sitting there, and sometimes you'd see them backstage. One of them was converted for part of an entrance for some ride. Not sure what happened to the other. Oh, there's that novel I talk about. Get you to put it together. Those big constructions.
Oh yeah, this thing is huge. Because
they used to it was just like a few sheets or whatever they would give you. Now they give you this great big. It's like a novel. I kept the one for my 2 models.
Oh, I keep my magazine, my things as well.
Yeah, just in case anything happens, you can be
Right.
like, oh, okay, let me go back and look.
That's the first layer. Like since I was missing pieces, I like my kind of like my flow has kind of. Like,
it seems like they're not really organized in how they do the pieces compared to Lego. Because I remember Lego being a little bit more organized when I got my 2.
This is like 1,000% disorganized.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, you're building the engine, or
it
would be like the cockpit, and all the parts would be just for that section. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take this Batmobile under the sink and rinse it down. It's got like so much dust.
See, I have the Tumbler Batmobile. I wish I had the one that you have.
Well, Walmart had this.
Oh, okay.
And it does have guns that are supposed to be able to shoot out these little things, but I don't have those no more. So somewhere there's a Joker. It comes with 2 figures, a Batman and a Joker, and I have no idea where I put the Joker.
Okay. Caught it now. Yeah, it was like normally in the with the Legos, each bag is like numbered. Like so,
Yeah.
when you go to work on the instructions, like oh, you're gonna start on bag number 1, and then bag number 2, and then.
I wonder if Lego can't get the Star Trek IP for the toys because they have Star Wars.
See, I was talking to my dad about that, and I think that's what. I think that's what it is.
Yet they have it for DC and Marvel. No rivals, but I guess the way the deal plays out.
Yeah, because I was, what was it? I thought I had all this organized. What was it? Yeah, it was like my dad, because I have the Millennium Falcon and the AT-AT, and like those were like so easy to put together, and I'm like, this is just like I am frustrated. I've never
Have
been.
you seen that, like, what, almost 4 foot long? I think it's about 3 foot long Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
Oh,
this thing's gonna end up being like 33 inches long.
ooh, that's close to 3 feet.
Yeah. So I'm like, I've already made space for it downstairs and everything,
I
and
With that Star Destroyer, I'd have to find space for it, and it'd be like I'd have like anybody would look at it, I'd be freaking out. But I heard there is a version of the Millennium Falcon they made that's really expensive, but I don't think they make it anymore.
right.
That was pretty big.
Uh, that's the one I wanted, but I have the one from Solo. That's the one I have. That was still fun build, but I had a lot of other extra pieces from other Lego sets. So like I have like one of the Doctor Who's flying on top of it and everything.
Well, let's see for the Batmobiles. I've seen the Tumbler. I've seen the one from the TV show, the original TV show, and the Batman. Batmobile called the Batman are the ones I've seen. I'm missing a piece for my Batmobile. Where'd that piece go? The hardest was this that techno, whatever they call it, series that they do of race cars and stuff.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think the one I got normally was like $40, but I found it on sale. And then after I got it, it turned out they had over ordered them, so they put them for even cheaper.
See, I wish I would come across stuff like that. It would make my day. But
Yeah. Literally, like I was like, oh, I got it on sale. Like I think I spent like 50%, so like probably about $20, and then all of a sudden they had it for like less than that. About a week or two later, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, I should have waited.
oh, you're speaking my language on that one. Like I wish I would have waited just a tad bit longer on buying some at least one of them. And I think start again. Yeah, like before I do this again, I'm going to have to like lay out every single piece and hope my cats don't take off the pieces.
Yeah. So that looks like a big drawback for them if they're not as organized as a Lego.
Yes, like the pieces still feel really good. They don't feel cheap. They don't feel like I'm about to break them in half. You know, like they're not no dollar store or Dollar Tree
Yeah, I've seen those before.
So it's like these are actually pretty sturdy, and like this is like really heavy already. Like it has to be, but it. But it's yeah, I'm just missing two pieces. Like, see, that's the problem, is that they don't put, like, it would make sense to put all the black pieces with the black pieces, because
All
that's
these the pieces you need for like the section, so all those would be together.
right. And so it's like all it is just um, a skinny piece with 4 notches on it. That's all it is, and it's what's holding up everything. I didn't realize that thing was missing. Oh, there they are. Found them. I knew I had them. Okay. There we go. We're back in business. Yeah, as soon as I get this done, I'll have to go.
No problem, man.
But since I found everything, it'll go by. Okay, got that. Got the second layer on. All right, now let's start building it up. Okay. Here's the 2 pieces. Okay.
The Enterprise, I always thought the Enterprise had the Federation ships had a cool design.
Mm-hmm.
The Reliant, you ever heard the story of why the Reliant looks the way she does?
Mm-mm.
Well, she was supposed to look, if you flip her upside down, that's how she was originally supposed to look.
Oh, okay.
But when the guy got the design and stuff in the director whatever, he opened it up upside down. He goes, I like this, and they're like, no, it's not supposed to be like this. He goes, no, this looks better. So they call those the Duracells or whatever they call those pieces.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to go on top, not below.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a little mistake when he opened it up, the design up.
That's cool. Like,
And it does work. It does work better.
Um, what was it? But yeah, I do like. Who is the captain of the Reliant?
The Reliant. Fuck.
I'm trying to think.
I trying to remember if he was abandoned on the planet because he only appears in that movie.
I think I know. I can never picture it. Like I'm like I haven't watched Star Trek in a while, so it's kind of like my.
See, he just like everybody had Chekhov.
Oh, okay.
Because he was, and the book, unless they said something, they never said if they saved him again.
Right.
But there is a joke, like a continuity mistake they say in that movie. It's Clark Tyrell. The mistake is they say that when they met Khan in the TV show, they hadn't introduced Chekhov yet. So how does Khan know him? The joke is he said that was Khan knows him because he was on the ship, but he just wasn't on the bridge. And he goes, Khan had to go to the bathroom, but Chekhov was was like busy doing something in the bathroom or something, was holding him up. And Khan holds a grudge against him for that.
That's funny.
But they pointed out, yeah, they had introduced Chekhov by the time they introduced Khan. So he really wouldn't know who Chekhov is.
Right, like when they meet him on like SETI Apple 5 or whatever it's called.
He's like, oh, I know you. He was like, now he would have read about Khan probably, but Khan would have no idea who he is. But what I like about Enterprise E, when you look at it, they get that whole neck column that you always saw the Enterprise have. They got rid of it. So like she sits a little lower and it's sleeker. I think she's longer too. But that the ship I was watching one of the guys from Mythbusters, he has a YouTube channel. He went to some museum. They have the original model.
That Adam Savage.
Yeah, apparently it's in good shape. It's like when they built it in such a way the materials they used should not have survived as long as they did. You should be having like wood rod and all this other stuff. He goes, no. However they did it, 50 years later, 50 plus years later, it's in tremendous shape.
That's cool.
So somebody knew, how to build something to last.
I always hate seeing old props fall apart like that.
Yeah.
Fall apart just in general. Like the original Yoda, I think it's falling apart.
There is somebody, I found it on YouTube. They restore some of these old stuff, like that they did some of the puppets for Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
The suits for Turtles, because they were showing the suits and they were like, ooh, they were really bad, and they go back and they restore them. That would be a fun. If that was a financially good thing to do, I don't know how much that would make. That'd be fun to do.
Oh, I would just be excited just to watch them do it, just because I like watching restored.
Yeah. I think it also like it's a material they use, like latexes and foams and stuff they use. And maybe how they store them. I've heard stories about movies. I think they say that old films, they keep them like they're kept so safe and secure, and that when they open them up, they just dissolve.
Yeah, because as soon as the air hits them, it just like crumbles. See, who knew? Like, yeah, this is going by so much quicker now. Once I found all the pieces, it's not the instruction. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. That base is good size too, though.
Yeah, it's starting to. Here's.
Oh yeah.
Getting there. One more piece of that one. But yeah, this is actually pretty hefty. Like, it's. I still got a few more things to go up, but it's.
Compared to the models, I think the models is just like a metal rod and a plastic base, and you just boom, boom. That's how you hold it up. Or my Beta Cruiser is like a coat hanger. It's just a coat hanger on a metal plastic base that you plug into a hole. God damn, this thing's dusty.
So, I used to have the Darth Maul one, his ship. That thing did not hold together whatsoever. It fell apart like after I got it together, but if you tried to move it, good luck.
I would like the Slave One. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I can't call it the Slave One.
Right.
Change the name.
So like
Whatever.
Fire or something like that, or Fire.
It's still Slave One.
Yeah.
I would like that one, and not that small one, but like a nice, good one.
I got the one that's like $40 at Walmart. I got that one, but
there is a nicer one out there, I think.
Oh yes, there is. There, for sure, there's a nicer one out there. And that's the one that I want, is the one you're talking about. Like I used to have a subscription to the Lego magazine when I was a kid, and that's that's all I wanted was just that. It was just that one that I wanted. It was that. with that Slave One piece.
I think it was a cool ship. I mean, especially when it lands and it takes off, you would think how it would fly, like it lands, but no, that's actually the back bottom. So it's like, what? Wait a minute, what? Hey, HC, hey, Fiend.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of like what other Lego sets that I had when I was a kid. I had a ton. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I had quite a few of them.
I remember Legos and Lincoln Logs, and then my dad got somebody cut some wood and made building blocks for me. And these are real Lincoln Logs. They're made out of wood. I don't think they're made out of wood anymore. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, my grandmother. I think my grandmother might have some those kind of Lincoln Logs. Like, I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
So here's a question for you: out of all the alien races from Star Trek, what's your favorite?
Oh,
I'm a Klingon guy.
Klingon. Which version of the Klingon?
The one starting with Star Trek 3.
Okay, the one with Christopher Lloyd and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, that's iconic. Yeah, that's very iconic.
At least I think it was Enterprise. I think it was because they would never explain why some had scars and why some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Trouble, that when they went back and past, they were just like they had to go to ask Worf, and he just goes, "We don't talk about it with outsiders." So I think it was Enterprise. They finally said, "Okay, this is why." They were playing mad scientist or whatever, and
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm like, I was trying to like, what was the reasoning behind that? I'm like, oh yeah,
we saw the redesign in the motion picture, but I can't remember if the clothes was quite like what we saw in Star Trek 3.
yeah. And then you barely saw them in the newer one too, the first one, because I think they had a little bit of a new look. Not much, but
Yeah, but
enough to be distinct.
it's like that classic look, that like almost like a body armor, quite, and the scar and the hair, and
But, I don't know who my favorite race would be. So,
I used to say Borg, then I realized, oh wait a minute, that's a collection of races. That's not
right.
a single race.
You've been assimilated. um, trying to think. Like I like. There's just so many. Um, um, that's really tough. Uh, what was I know it's not the Ferengi. Trying to think of what they were. I do like the Rom. Like, I know I kind of like I like the Romulans, even though they're just an offshoot of Vulcans. But like I just
The
they
thing is, when you look at the Romulans, the Vulcans, the Ferengi, and the Klingons, and the Cardassians, they were maybe the Bajorans. All the ones they really kind of got in depth with in the background.
right.
Particularly the Klingons, they really got into the Klingons and Next Generation in the background. But with the Romulans, they were like very political and backstabbing and shit.
Oh, I know. That's kind of I think I kind of tend to. I did like which one? I did like the what's his name? He played the Riddler. What was his name?
Frank.
Gorshin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did play an alien.
Yeah, I liked how he was the opposite. You know, his his black and white was on the opposite ends.
Well, they had that one race they introduced on. I think they introduced maybe a Next Generation, but they got more on Voyager, not Voyager, but Deep Space Nine, the whole symbiotic one.
Oh, okay.
They had that creature living inside of them.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of it. I'm like, I'm terrible. I can picture him.
So I remember Worf fell in love with the host of one,
Yeah.
and then she died, and the creature went to somebody else. So like you had the creature wasn't a guy at one time. It was Cisco's friend. Now it's in a woman. Then it marries Worf, and then it dies and starts over again. It's like, oh,
yeah, I remember
that's gotta be weird.
That's. Oh, this toughest one. Yeah, I think, and yeah, there we go. The thing is, what makes Mega Bloks actually really good is that I don't think I've showed it yet, but it does have these little guides, so it helps you kind of.
Oh, like the color, so you know where everything's supposed to go. Actually,
Right.
pretty cool. Instead of just here's a piece, this is where it goes. It has those little color things, so you know. Actually, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen the? Okay, I think you got that WrestleMania 6 shirt. Have you seen that crappy ass rematch from '98?
No, I don't think
It's Halloween Havoc '98, the legendary Halloween Havoc. They went over the time.
Oh man, like I think I was watching like that's actually for the first time in a very long time. I actually was rewatching old pay-per-views, and I watched Fully Loaded.
Somebody made a video making fun of Hogan. It's a little short. Hogan did the worst share charts ever.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Like, oh my god, he nearly killed him.
The Big Show when he was giant, he was selling that chair shot. It was like nothing. He's all like running back and bouncing all over the place. Like, dude, you look so horrible for doing that. I mean, they had to sell that too with that.
And also with Hogan, you know how he blamed the Undertaker for his tombstone and everything.
Mm-hmm. They were talking about like people who don't like Hogan, and they bring him up about that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some of the I don't know if you go on Twitter and you check out Iron Sheik.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, who brought up? I'm sorry. Who brought up Botchamania in the group?
Botchamania. Someone brought that up.
I actually made it onto an episode of Botchamania. You can't see my face, but I have a very distinct hat, and I knew because I was there. And the only reason I knew it is because Andrade ripped his pants.
Oh, have you seen the videos of Captain Howdy and his dive?
Yes.
Oh, he was off by how many feet? 2-3 feet.
He might have been. He might as well have been in the audience. You know.
It's like they only show you so much. You see these fan videos, it's like, oh my god, that is so horrible. That reminds me, there was that one botch with the Dark Order when that guy was supposed to be beating up Dustin, and he was off by inches.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dustin's bopping his head around like he's being hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, here's one for you. What is your take on Tony Khan and that one guy's feud, that one reporter's feud?
Who's he? Oh, Tony Schiavone?
No, Ari, whatever his name is.
Oh, okay. I'm a little behind on that stuff, but I know, I read I read a headline, but I haven't. You might have to catch me up on that.
Well, this started. Okay, he had interviewed Tony Khan after all the stuff with MJF and CM Punk.
Okay.
And he goes to ask him about CM Punk and all of that stuff. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that. When we talk about MJF, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, you know, Bray's a free agent. You can sign him. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that. He's like, well, why are we here? So then he interviews Triple H. This is after all the stuff was Vince, and he didn't ask about Vince.
Okay.
So I guess Tony was a bit pissed off about that. And then next thing you know, he saw him on SmackDown. He saw Ari on SmackDown. And he went off. Oh, you're a fraud. You're a hack. You know, but as much as a lawyer as Tony Schiavone is.
Okay, so I saw. That's what I saw was when he was mentioning Tony Schiavone. So that's why I was like, so okay, now everything makes sense now.
And he replied, and he was like, dude, like, Tony has nothing to do with it. Tony, you know, people saying that Tony did do journalism. He's a respected guy. But they're like, why are you bringing Schiavone up in this?
Right. Like, he has one of the better credentials than anybody in the business.
Yeah. Especially there in, in AEW. But they're like, people are like, even, you know, this guy, Aria, whatever, he's like, what the hell? And Michael Cole, when they were at, he asked the hard questions, even if you don't want to answer them.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, oh, we know what he's talking about there.
Is that what he said during the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, at one point when they showed him on camera, he said that, and it's like, ooh.
That's funny.
Ooh.
That's really funny. That makes
It's like, this is like, oh my god, what the hell is this? I think it's not so much as him going after Ari, it's the whole Tony Schiavone thing that people are just like,
yeah, like it seems like, yeah, exactly. I agree. He kind of threw him under the bus a little bit.
And this is supposed to be one of his boys who I've heard is like backstage. It helps a lot. He's got the knowledge he has, and he's just like says that about Tony. I wonder about Tony Khan at times.
Oh, so speaking of that, like me and I have a friend who we watch the pay-per-views together, and we have gone to events with and everything. And me and him, like, we agree. We kind of think that he's kind of like he expects everyone to know everything about wrestling. And so when he brings in these people and no one knows who he is, it just kind of throws everybody off. Because, like, I don't know New Japan. So it's like, but they try to make him like a big deal. I'm like, I understand he's a big deal, but like, I just don't know his history.
Yeah. I know a little bit of New Japan, but not much. I know, okay, Okada and Jay White and the Bullet Club. I was like them, but like, you bring in somebody else, like this Shibata guy, whatever they've been promoting.
Yeah,
I don't know them. I mean, some of the people do, but how many people, they scream, oh, we like this, they scream because they recognize them, and then someone goes, oh, wait a minute, don't share, and we should give suit. So, but now we're in WrestleMania season.
Oh no, I know. The only bad thing is I work Saturday, so I'm gonna miss the first night, which is all right. But I wish, but I'll have this. But I'll do what I did last year. I'll just stay off. I'll just not talk to anybody.
Last year, I think last year they had that storm right before it hit.
Yes.
Right before they hit it, they had that bad storm and screwed everything up. It's like, are they going to hold the event?
They had Samoa Joe and a Poncho. I think.
Do you remember that event? What was it? Beware of Dog. What happened there?
No.
Okay, if you go to the network, you will see the way they had to edit two shows together. There was a bad storm the day they held it,
Mm-hmm.
So they lost power. So some of the matches were in the dark. So what they did is when they did the airing, if you had ordered the original airing,
Uh-huh.
got the replay for free. I think it was. I could be wrong. To see those matches you lost out on.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was Savio Vega.
Oh,
Yokozuna versus Vader.
yeah, I know what you're talking.
Mankind was yeah. If you go back and you watch it, I think you might notice there's something different about some of the matches, all because of that.
I'll have to check that out. I've been trying to watch older pay-per-views. Just the ones I've missed out on are.
Whatever you do, don't go back and rewatch Nitro unless up to some point in '99. Stop. Just stop. Because I started watching it. Okay, 96. I mean 95. All right, beginning. It's not so bad. 96 with the NWO, great. 97. Then some point in time, about 99, it's just like really, really bad.
See that because this was during the time where I was like, I think I was moving back and forth between where I lived and moved. So it's like, so I missed a lot of that bad Nitros.
It was like a lot of black and white segments that had, no, they would do like David Flair, where he's with Tori Wilson, and he
Okay.
won't look her in the eye, and he's talking all shy, and then she's talking to Hogan like, "Oh, I got him wrapped around my finger," and if they was like, "I love my dad, I hate my dad, I love my dad, I hate my dad," it's just like you get no matches, the segments, and some color, some black and white. It was just horrible.
Oh, I knew. Oh, I trust me. Like I know the history and everything. It's just I've never witnessed it
Oh,
personally, and that's what
if you do, it's terrible.
that was. See, like I want. What do I do? What I really want to do, I want to watch is it Nitro with the finger poke of doom?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I need to go back and watch that. I've seen it.
When was that? What Nitro was that? Because there were two things that happened that night, though. There was was that the same night of that's going to put a lot of butts in seat, or was that a different night? Trying to remember.
And that is at the same night with Mick Foley, right?
Yeah, I think.
Where they gave away the ending to
Yeah,
Raw.
because they used to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and because they would say, "Oh, such and such," because it was pre-taped. Yes, it was the same night where he goes, "Oh, they're gonna put the title on Mick Foley. Oh, that's gonna put a lot of butts in seats."
Right.
And people just went, "Oh, what the hell?" Remote.
Gotta go see that.
Supposedly Foley was pissed and upset about it and talked to Savani. Savani, I think he said like, "Oh, I was told to say that or something."
No, was he really?
Yeah, because I think it was going back to when they first started, because there was them that, because the internet wasn't like, okay, that was 95 when it started, so the internet wasn't like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't do a lot of, you look at that, you couldn't give away the results back then. Hell, you can't even keep. We all knew AJ Styles was going to show up
Oh yeah.
because the news was already broke. So that's I think part of like what Hall showing up and Nash showing up was, because of all keeping everything was kept, the
Mm-hmm.
internet wasn't like it is now.
Right.
But yeah, the finger poke of doom, and then that happening on the same night with Foley was just like, oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Just
They even got shit for having Bill Goldberg challenge Hogan for the title. Because they were like, wait a minute, this is a pay-per-view match. Why are you doing that?
yeah, they were giving big matches away on free TV.
Yeah, people would have paid for the pay-per-view, Hogan, he could have done a great build-up and then have the match.
Right.
But the finger poke. Let me see. That was January 4th.
They just kicked the year off of the bang, didn't they?
Oh yeah, and that would have been that literally would have been the first Nitro of '99.
Oh my god. I think I'm gonna do that tonight. Well, I'm almost done. So, like with this base, which makes me very happy.
I mean, I'm not going to say that WWE didn't have bad ideas, but
Okay.
that shit right there.
Like,
finger poke of doom, and also going to put a lot of butts in seats.
like, yeah, like I'm trying. Like WWE definitely had their misses on it, and like. Right.
Although I think one of the ones that WWE owns this footage, but WWE will never show it. The original debut of Harlem Heat. Booker T and Stevie Ray, like prisoner outfits was changed and stuff, being led to the ring by a white guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, somebody wasn't thinking. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? That's like bad. That actually might be worse than the finger poke of doom, because WWE would show the finger poke of doom. They won't show that. They own that footage. Oh,
Right.
and WWE owns footage to X-rated footage.
Oh, do they really?
Remember XPW?
I think so.
Well, they had bought the XPW library up. So happened that when they bought that library up, they also had to buy some other stuff up that was connected to it.
Okay.
Extreme hardcore adult entertainment. Shit that got people sent to jail.
Oh, really?
So they had to agree, because the only way they could get the XPW stuff, because they were buying some wrestling libraries up, they had to get that, and they made an agreement that they would never, ever release it.
That's crazy. What made it hardcore, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just, is it just because it was like explicitness of everything?
Simulated sexual assault.
Okay. Oh, okay.
People acting like little kids, and human feces.
Okay. No one. Okay. Yeah. I'll never see the light of day.
But I think it was like the simulated stuff. And then the guy who owned it, I guess, when they were talking about coming after the feds or whatever, coming after him, I heard a story that he was like, whatever, come after me. And because he was selling across state lines or some shit, and him and his woman went to jail.
Did they do a Dark Side of the Ring on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why it sounds so familiar, because of that. Okay, yes, okay. I because I started that episode and I hadn't.
I don't know if they talk about it, but I remember like reading it up and they're like, oh yeah, because there was the people who did it ended up starting up a company that they were doing all this other wrestling stuff and all. So they had a big wrestling library, and the WWE bought all that wrestling stuff up, and there was other stuff in there that, in order to get all that wrestling stuff, they had to buy this other stuff too.
All right.
So, I mean, XPW is still around. They came back.
Did I tell you? Yeah. Did I tell you I was going to a GCW show?
A Game Changer?
Yep.
Nick fucking Gage.
He was there. I went to one last year. It was pretty fun. It was the last time they were going to be in the Evansville Coliseum. Who's the Midnight Rockers?
You mean the original Midnight Rockers or the Rock and Roll Express?
Rock and Roll Express.
Fuck, Gibson and
Yeah.
God. I don't know if they teamed together. I know one of them was teaming up with his son.
Yeah.
NW.
So I'll have to send you a video of that because of that night.
It's sad though what happened to Gage's brother. Committing suicide and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd seen Justice Payne wrestle before. I loved Gage's old finisher in CZW, the choke breaker. Choke slam into a backbreaker. Oh, God, that looks so painful when he would do that. I think they said they signed Gage to a contract, too, GCW.
Yeah, he's been showing up at some pay-per-views and stuff like that. I don't know if he will be there when I go in April, but I'm hoping, hopefully Matt Cardona shows up and stuff.
Good donor. Too bad they can't have Mox. I think they can't have Mox anymore.
Oh, really?
I think AEW is kind of locking down stuff. Mox was supposed to be at a show in Italy or somewheres, Ireland or somewheres, but they double booked him so he can't be there. Not the first time they've done this with somebody where they're like, oh, we got to be at this show. Oh, wait a minute, sorry, we need you at this show over here.
All right, so the first part of this instructions are done. I'm gonna try and get this all figured out next time, and I'll try to get StreamYard so I can host you.
I mean that.
So
It's got a nameplate on it.
Yep. So here's the first part.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, hold on, I'm not done yet. I gotta.
Are those two yellow things for the figures on the side?
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't have to put anything. Yeah. See, like
That's supposed to be Kirk.
Yeah, that's Kirk, and that's Spock. So, let's see if they have a picture of it, a better picture in here. But so, yeah. So here's what they look like in the thing.
And that's nothing like they look like at all, do they?
Right. Then,
jeez, that sounds familiar with a lot of things. Oh, it looks so great. You get it.
Okay. So I showed. Okay, here they are again.
Oh, he looks terrible.
Right. I didn't realize. And even
Spock looks like he has a gold streak or something going down the middle.
Yeah. The way the box shows that they're like highly detailed and everything, and so when I saw them for the first time, I'm like, what?
Maybe highly detailed if you sit down and take the time and you have the skill and the time to sit there and alter things.
Right. They come with tricorders and phasers as well, but they're in a different bag. I'll definitely get those another day.
Size wise, compared to the Lego ones, which is bigger?
Oh, Mega Blocks in this?
The Lego size, the figures.
Oh, I think they're about the same. They're just built different.
Not blocky like the Lego ones.
Yeah, they're more articulate. And here they are a little bit better.
Those faces.
Yeah, they're like nothing like what the packaging makes them out.
If you got the paint and the time, the skill, you have to sit there and just
like they definitely have a little. They definitely won't. I don't think. Yeah, you have to like get really super close. Like for like the little pupils, they just have holes in the mold. There's no paint. It's just like because if you just look at it like, oh, there's his eyes, but if you really get up real close, they just have two little pinholes in there.
Well, it makes kind of sense if they have to mass produce them.
Right.
So those high detail ones that take too long.
Oh, I know. But so
Trying to see what the Bird of Prey comes with a figure. Not the Buddha Parade. Why do I keep calling it the Buddha Parade? The Battle Cruiser.
Because we know it to be the bird of prey.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me see. It's the D7.
How much is it, by the way? I may have to invest in it one day.
Right now, it looks like it's on. It's normally $250, but right now it's a 14% sale, so it's for $215.
Okay, so I got a story to tell you. This is my last story before you have to go.
Okay.
I bought this for my dad for Christmas back in 2017. Okay, it was on sale. I bought it for $90. Now they want $500 for this.
The figure, the Klingon figure does look detailed, but I'm sure it's one of those ones once you get it,
It's probably just like this.
and it's the old TV show design.
Oh, with
So
like
from that era, so it's gonna have that look from the old '60s TV show.
okay. All right, here we go.
That looks smaller. The base for the of the Battle Cruiser, I'm looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
is definitely smaller than that.
Yeah, I can. They have it on the back of the box. I'm looking at it right now. That's. Oh, I can see. Yep. I kind of want the bridge too.
Yeah, there's a bridge.
Oh man. So all right. This is actually really heavy. This is and Mega Blocks. I don't know what people think of them. Like this is actually really pretty. Like I'm not scared of accidentally dropping it. You know what I mean?
I'm more used with Lego, but I'd be interested to look at what they have. If there was a set I liked, and to check it out.
I like if you like this actually feels really nice. I'm like it doesn't feel cheap. I mean it's definitely
They make some He-Man stuff, if I remember right.
it's definitely you can definitely tell the difference, but it doesn't feel cheap. You know what I mean? Like if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really nice.
That does look nice.
Oh man! All right, so yeah, next time I'm going to have to plan this out because what I'm building next. Let me see if I can get back. Let me read this now. Oh, I also started the Elvira novel book.
I think once you get going and some of the stuff she had to deal with, you'll be shocked because there's a lot of stuff like.
So I got past her being burned by the water, and then the last thing I read was like how bad her mom treated her.
Yeah, and have you got to the point about her father, and her uncle get into a fight?
Yes, I did read that. That's where I left off, and it's like the last thing he said is like he just got up and went back to Colorado. That was the
One
last.
thing you'll find that the scarring thing will come up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you the impression that she was very it was always on her mind that it's something that people would have to tell. It's okay.
Yeah, like the thing is, I did looking at her, you would never have guessed, and
No, you wouldn't.
and then like I love that how his like the love of from her dad, like how he would just stay up at night and watch her.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
You get the impression that she had a cool dad. Okay, yeah, the whole fight with the uncle,
Right.
but her mom was just like, dude, she's a bitch.
She was, yeah. She like calling her fat, basically, and just like how no boys will like her, and just kind of just being mean, like for um like for no reason, just like she would just like she said, like she walked in from coming outside, and her mom just like laid into her, it's just like
but it's like weird, like I was always a fan, but the book gave me so much respect for her, and you'll see it once you get on some of the shit she goes through in life. It's like, holy shit, that woman went through a lot.
Yeah, like I've always been a fan, but like now I'm just these first couple chapters have been like eye opening. Like wow, like just her getting to her teens were just it was a struggle, you know.
It's like also it's like you can see her humor, but then she'll hit you with like, okay, I went through this and that. It's like, oh,
Yeah, I like her. I like the way she talks in the book, like the way she writes. I like it. I can kind of hear her voice, which is great for having 40 years of it. You can pick up her voice within the book.
yeah.
So okay,
I mean, I got the book as a birthday gift to myself, and they didn't have any, so I ordered it, and I was like, this is a birthday gift to myself. Send it to my house. It's like, okay.
all right. I think that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go relieve Ariel and take over watching the kid for a while. But this is what I'm going to have to plan ahead for this because I'm building that
You're
part.
gonna organize the parts so that you can find them better.
Yep, I'm gonna have to do them by piece or in size and
Ooh.
everything. There's just no way I'm going to be able to do this how I like. This was just by pure luck because it was all one color.
It's a shame they didn't do about like Lego and actually have an order to them because that would have made it so much easier.
It really would have. And now I'm going to have to I'm going to put much more work into putting this together than actually putting it together.
Well, I do think they do some. I've seen some Scooby Doo stuff. I think from them maybe, and He-Man. I think I've seen some stuff. I'll maybe next time in Walmart, I got to see what they have.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. I'm just kind of skipping ahead. I'm just like, there's going to be. It's not hard to put together because how well it detailed and how well it like the instructions are great. It's the packaging was the problem.
I used to keep when I would put together, I'd have like a little paper cup.
Mm-hmm.
All the small parts would go in the paper cup.
So that's what I had to do. I had to get my screw set, my divider for my tool set out, and start dumping pieces in there so I wouldn't lose it. So I know because I kept having to dump them out onto the thing just in case I had to
Yeah,
double.
it
So
works to have a system so you don't have to worry about dumping. You can just like go through it, and that's a good system right there.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to um, start organizing this off camera, and then because I'm very this is the biggest Lego set I've ever built, 3,000 pieces. So I'm looking for. I didn't realize how much effort it was going to take.
I'm not sure how many pieces this is, but I think this is the most. It's when I did this.
Which one is that? Sorry.
Let me bring it up.
Yeah, I'm on my phone now. Oh, that's cool.
That's the biggest I've done from them and all. But it's like you're like looking at all the little parts but that in the Batmobile, everything was let me change this here. Everything was like organized just, in the bags. But yours, it sounds like when they did theirs, they didn't.
Yeah,
That's a headache.
like that's what it looks like. There's no numbers, no nothing. They just put they are organized if they're mass pieces. So like this is all one piece, like all the same piece in one bag. So like it may get easier now, but there's a lot of smaller bags over here. So I'm definitely going to have to maybe like you do some paper cuts. This will end up costing me money because I bought it for my dad, and then I'm like, "Can I just have this so I can have it so I can do something for my channel?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So I'm like,
No problem for him. No problem for you. Have to organize everything.
the thing is, he would I don't know if he would have give up, but he definitely would have been like probably would have had to do what I'm about to have to do, and I don't think he would have quite the patience that I have for this.
Oh yeah, that's gonna definitely take patience.
So But yeah, thank you for hosting me.
No problem, man.
I'm enjoying this. So like, once I get this all organized, we'll do it again.
I'm interested to see what the final look. And then the picture only shows you so much, but actually seeing it is so much better. And see it.
The base kind of gives me high hopes of how big it's going to be, and so I'm like, it's going to be like this big for sure. So that gives me high hopes. That's what I want.
Cool.
Really nice set, Lego set down. I'll put it next to my Millennium Falcon when it's done. But okay, that is it for the day. Thank you again for hosting me.
No problem, Max. Anytime, man.
Thank you, and I will talk to you later. And you have a good one.
You too, and thanks for everybody who joined us. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.